There's going to be a bailout.
Well, they had to. Right? I mean, paper markets would
They
collapsed.
knew.
Cash would stop coming out of ATMs. They had to backstop this.
They knew the taxpayers would bail them out. They weren't being stupid. They just didn't care.
Yeah, because they're fucking crooks. But
At least we're going to see some of them go to jail. Right? I mean, they're going to have to break up the banks.
I mean, the party's over.
I don't know. I have a feeling that in a few years, people are going to be doing what they always do when the economy tanks. They will be blaming immigrants and poor people.
Banks took the money the American people gave them and they used it to pay themselves huge bonuses and lobby the Congress to kill big reform. And then they blamed immigrants and poor people. And this time, even teachers. And when all was said and done, only one single banker went to jail. This poor schmuck, Kareem Sarah Geldin from Credit Suisse. He hit a few billion in mortgage bond losses, something most of the big banks did on a good day during the crisis.
The disaster's coming. I said it to you before, and I've said it to people many a time. I truly, truly believe the foundations of this country are cracked. Who is this country actually looking after? Because it don't feel like it's us. People are desperate in England in 2022 who work full-time and have always worked full-time.
The United Kingdom is currently a mess. But this isn't about whether or not the Prime Minister held an illegal Christmas party, breaking lockdown rules, or the other scandals that Boris Johnson's facing. I'm talking about something much, much bigger. A set of problems so systemic that they go beyond party politics and could affect the future of the United Kingdom. One week supermarket shelves are empty, the next there are fights at gas stations as the fuel runs dry. Benefits are being cut, taxes are going up, wages have stagnated for more than a decade, and the COVID death toll is rising. On top of that, there's growing momentum for Scotland and maybe even Northern Ireland to leave this mess behind and break away from the UK. So why does it feel like the UK is falling apart? And what's caused this crisis?
For the past 25 years, particularly the centre-left, has told the bottom 60% of the income distribution in the country the following story. Globalisation's good for you, it's awesome, it's really great. And we're going to sign these trade agreements, don't worry, there'll be compensation, it'll be fine. You'll all end up as computer programmers, it'll be fantastic, right? And by the way, we don't really care because we're all going to move to the middle because that's where the voters are and they're the people with money and they're the ones that we really care about. So you get this shift under Schroeder, you get the same thing under Blair to New Labour, whatever, and you make that move. And you basically take the bottom 30% of the income distribution and say, we don't care what happens to you. You're now something to be policed. You're now something to have your behaviours change. We're going to nudge you into better patterns, as the Americans like to say. It's a very paternalist, very patronising relationship. This is no longer the warm embrace of social democracy, arm in arm with solidarity with the working classes. They're there to be policed and excluded in their housing estates so that you feel safe in your neighbourhoods, so that you can have your private schools, they have their public schools, which you don't really want to pay taxes for anymore. So once this has evolved over 20 years, you have this revolt not just against Brexit, it's not about the EU, it's about the elite, it's about the 1%. It's about the fact that your parties that were meant to serve your interest have sold you down the river.
We have never had it so good.
4 out of 10 children in parts of Barrow are born into poverty. That's not good enough, is it?
Well, it's appalling. And of course, but everybody, and it's not just people in Westminster, it's not just at a national level, it's at a local level. Through the
It's the government, and you've had nearly 10 years.